morning, and welcome to week 9 Commissioner Picks. We are going to get these going, and I think you're going to see a trend here. We're week 9, halfway through the season, and we're starting to see some pretty easy victories and losses. Kicking it off, we're going to show you one to start with. Right off the bat, Ligma Harball, Andy Reid taking a big L with the injury this past weekend, but it doesn't look like he's going to slow down too much. Lindendt's team is not putting up numbers, and we see an easy win here. 156-22 projected, and it just looks really good all the way across the board. Jordan Love against Carolina, big numbers. Christian McCaffrey, big numbers always. Vidal has been playing lights out. Bam Knight actually I think is a sneaky good play. I think we're going to see more of him. And Dallas's defense can't stop a fucking thing. So really good stuff here for Chris's team. Tyrone Tracy, I know, was one of the bigger pickups in redrafts leagues this weekend. So, yeah, it should be an easy win. Way to go, Chris. Moving you up to 6-3, buddy. All right, we're going to get into Mike's Mihow team versus Yanni's Sons of the Harpy. You got 3-5 with Mike's team. A little bit of a fire sale going on the past couple of weeks. You got Yanni's team at 4-4. Another easy pick for the old commish here. Flea Flicker's got it at 100 to 129, but the big tell here is that Mike just doesn't have any running backs left. I mean, we've got to combine less than 5 points here, less than 4 points here, less than 3 points here. It's bad. Devon A-Chain has been looking good between him and Waddle. I think, obviously that's going to be instant starts there for the Miami team. I think Bryce Young is still pretty banged up, but Green Bay's defense is still pretty strong. So I wouldn't expect a great game from him. Wouldn't expect a great game from your Carolina players. So not great start there. I think Sam and Bo should have fine games against Washington and Houston, respectively. Puka Nacua is back. I know he's been looking good, so I would expect to see him in there. I don't know if I'm going to give him 22 points to start. I'm not sure it really matters for this game. Drake London at New England. I'm down bad, boys, on the Falcons. I'm down real bad. I don't want to talk about them anymore. I don't like the team anymore. I think the entire coaching staff needs to go. But Drake London with 12 points, fuck them. Sure, whatever. Fucking Falcons. So anyway, gonna give this win to Yanni, moving you up to 5-4, my friend. That's putting you back in the hunt. A couple little trades, and I think you're there if you want to be. We got a big matchup though coming up next. Peter's Straight Cash Homie at 7-1 versus Mike's or Teddy's Hydra team at 5-3. I think both of these teams are respectively the top. Yep, Teddy's team sitting at 5-3, just above me in the Wave 1 group, and then Peter's at 7-1 currently. So very big matchup here. Flea Flicker's got it pretty close, 154 versus 141. Let's take a look at this. So you got Herbert against Tennessee. It's going to be raining. I think that Herbert does play well. I don't think it's going to be a fourth quarter barn burner either. I think he's going to play well throughout with some little dink and dunks. Drake May has been playing outstanding, and fuck Atlanta. So I think that'll be a good game there. Josh Jacobs has been looking good last weekend, but I mean, of course, you put him up against Jonathan Taylor, it's obviously pales in comparison. So great start up here. Kenneth Walker has been fine. Should be able to do some work against Washington, and I think Monangai is a decent play here against Cincinnati, who can't really do shit right now on defense. So it's a good play. It's a little bit high for me. I'm not sure I give him 15.7 points. I can see it happening though, right? I can totally see it happening here. Cooper Kupp against Washington. I'll take it. I think I could see that happening. I think I could even see it going a little bit higher than the 9.3 projected there. Kyron Williams looking great. Deebo Samuel though, I think that's a great play this weekend. Gonna have some extra volume there, I would imagine. Brian Thomas has not looked very good this year. I wouldn't even be surprised if they trade him coming up here on the deadline. So I'm not a big fan of Brian Thomas there. Devontae Adams against New Orleans should be good. Metcalf, you're hoping for a touchdown. I think he's sitting just in the top 15 wide receivers right now, and coming off from some pretty decent games, but it does seem to be kind of up and down. My internet apparently is out, so we're not going to be looking at his stats. Um, oh, just joking. Fuck me. Yeah, some pretty decent games here. So touchdown, touchdown. Yeah, I mean you're hoping for those touchdowns to keep going. So I think you get it here. I think it's gonna be a fun game against Indiana. Um, Overall, I am gonna be giving the pick to Peter. No respect on the team this week, there, Teddy boys. So Peter, that's gonna be a win for you, moving you up to 8-1. What a start, dude. All right, next up we got Rico Suave versus Jonesin for wins. Okay, so Brandon, Mr. Ukraine himself, 4-4, making some moves, trading waiver wire. He's pretty active. Um, Rico Suave, 5-3. I think we're gonna get a little Rico Dowdle action again this week, boys and girls. Sorry, Kitty. I think it's gonna look good. I'm playing Rico Dowdle where I have him against Green Bay. Obviously, it's a tough matchup, so that kind of a bummer here. But I do think we're gonna get extra volume for Rico. Um, Daniel Jones, though, is looking like he's playing for the bag. I think 20 points is doable against Pittsburgh. Dak Prescott against Arizona. I mean, Dak's defense can't do shit, so he's got to just keep flinging it. So we love that for us. Um, Cook is outstanding. What a freaking beast. Dude, he runs so hard. I love watching him run. Genty, on the other hand, also hard runner, but man, he's not been getting it done like we'd like against the Jaguars team. That's been surprisingly decent. So I think 15 points is fine, but man, I know I sent some trades out for him to get rid of him this week. So let's see what happens. Um, T. Higgins is certainly startable as long as Joe Flacco is there and he is dealing with an injury. But as long as he stays healthy, the dude is gonna fling it. So I'm down for it. Say Jones. Um, I think it's a sneaky good play. Again, Dallas can't stop shit, so I think it's a sneaky good play. I don't know if it's gonna be good enough um, for for Brandon to get the win here, but hey, let's see what happens. Tolbert and Coleman, we're kind of getting into the dregs here. I like Keon Coleman, but I don't like Buffalo's just wide receivers in general, playing them. I like watching them. I don't like playing them in fantasy. You never really know who you're going to get the volume to. So let's see what happens. Uh, yeah, I think I said this in a previous pick video, but I'm not a huge fan of Nico Collins this year. Just not about it. Mac Jones is going to get the start though against the Jets. Yeah, so my headphones just decided to turn off. Fuck, I don't know. Anyway, that's probably an indicator that I'm going too long. I'm giving the win here to Mike. Sorry, Brandon. Giving it up. Rico Suave coming back, moving him up to 6-3. All right, where are we? Eric's Turdfergson versus Vince's Nice Guys. I think this is another one that I think is going to get away from us a little bit early, a little bit quick. Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen. Hard to beat that duo. I think there's only one team in the league that can. It's me. Goff, I think, has kind of faltered a bit the past few weeks, hasn't he? Yeah, 12 last week. So let's see what he does against Minnesota. I don't know if it's going to be a get back game for Jared Goff, but it is at home, so you do like that. Um, Kamara against the Rams. I mean, you always feel good with Kamara in, but not like even last year. You don't. Yeah, I mean, it's not been nearly as consistent or high. I'm surprised we haven't heard more Kamara trade talk with the deadline coming up, but I know he's got some money on the line there, so maybe the teams just don't want to pick it up. I like RJ Harvey. Big game last weekend. I think he put up like something stupid, didn't he? Yeah, 25 points. So um, add him wherever you can. Plop him in your lineup. Hope for that W. Decent defense for Houston, but I think it's going to get it going. I'm a little nervous with the Montgomery start. I got him in my redraft, and I'm not feeling great about it. So, you know, let's see what happens. Jamar Chase, again, same thing as T. Higgins. As long as Flacco's in, you're loving it. The guy is on a stupid, like, 3-game extrapolated value for volume. Let's take a look at you so I can show you what I mean. He's getting targeted so much now that Flacco's in. Just ridiculous. So you gotta love that. As long as Flacco is healthy, that's gonna be a nice play. But I am giving the win here to Vince. I think Vince actually has a pretty easy win here. Sorry, Eric. Ian's 5-3. Starting Bijan is the Pits versus JP's all rookie team. We did see some trades going on between these two teams this week, so that's a little suspicious now that I'm looking at these matchups, boys. What are you guys doing over there, huh? No, I'm just joking. This is an easy one. I'm not even gonna get into it. Ian's loading up. He's moving all of his future assets, and we gotta put a little bit of love there. So give him that win to Ian. Nice job, buddy. Penultimate matchup. All right, we got Katie's Tyreek's cardiac arrest versus Paul's Wunderwolff team, and I don't know who we're gonna go here because I actually think this might be pretty decent. Katie sitting at 115 projected, Paul sitting at 101 projected. Caleb Williams and Michael Penix, fuck the Falcons, fucking motherfucking Falcons, versus Geno Smith and Tyler Shuck. So I liked what I saw from Tyler Shuck last weekend. I think the kid might actually do well for the Saints just based on one game and a few passes that I saw. So not sure it's going to happen this weekend for him, but I think he might have a future in the NFL, so that's nice. Do think that the quarterback duo over here for Paul's team is better. Um, not a great start here, but hey, I mean he nearly doubled his projection, so you gotta love that. Take the W's where you can. Derrick Henry looked electric. Um, they probably should have had another touchdown or two in there, but gotta love it. I love the ETN start this weekend. I think Tootin is a good start against the Raiders, but he's buried behind ETN, and I think ETN is the play here. So that's fun to watch right next to each other. Um, let's take a look at it. I did pick up Lane. I think he's a sneaky play with some of the injuries that Washington's dealing with. Terry McLaurin's out, so we might see some Lane volume happening this weekend. Not sure it's going to be enough, but yeah, it's a good play. I think it's a good play. Chuba Hubbard, I think the writing is on the wall there. It looks like Rico might be getting that play, but again, hard defense with Green Bay. So, I kind of think if Rico gets the football starting touches this weekend and he comes out against a tough Green Bay defense, are we talking about Chuba Hubbard next weekend? I don't know, but here we are. Um, Always happy with him on Raw. And then you're hoping for Quentin Johnston to fucking show up like he did the first few weeks. He went back to like his first 3 years. That's what we're kind of seeing out of him lately. I know he was dealing with an injury, but you just hate to see a freaking goose egg and then 4 points. So maybe we can get back to how he started. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. But let's take a look at what the commissioner decided. We are giving the win to Katie, moving you up to 4-5. Nice job, Katie. Paul, sorry about it, buddy. You're going down to 2-7. And then last but not least, you got Whacko for Flacco versus yours truly, Mcas, two 5-3 teams. Let's take a look at this real quick. Oof. Both of us sitting in the second spot there. Um, I think it's going to be a close one. 126 versus 150. Um, Obviously, I love to see Lamar back. Patrick Mahomes is playing great, especially now that he's got Rasheed Rice back. Joe Flacco, I think, is a great start as long as he stays healthy. Jackson Dart, I think he falters a bit this weekend. San Francisco is going to be a little bit tough for him, I think. Um, he's missing Scatterboo, which is going to be, obviously not great. So I think he falters a bit, but J.K. Dobbins is looking great. Jahmyr Gibbs coming off of a bye and a huge game before that. Wan'Dale Robinson, it's a nice stack with Dart. I don't know if he gets it done. Really disappointing for Zay Flowers. I have him in a redraft league, and you know, you really thought that with Lamar back, that he might come out and get like 107 yards and a touchdown, 8 receptions. That's kind of about where I had him at, but no, we got 5 and 64, no touchdowns. So that sucks. Um, Khalil Shakir, I talked about Buffalo wide receivers. It's just a crapshoot. Shakir did great, I think, last weekend, but Keon Coleman maybe this weekend. Who knows? I hate playing the Buffalo wide receivers. Manor, I think, is a great play for Dynasty, but if you're looking across the aisle, I got the one you want. Um, ugh, why did I think they were both on Carolina all of a sudden? Meier's a great play. I think he's going to be good like next year when Tennessee takes another quarterback. Um, on my team, I'm not gonna lie. I think I got this one in the bag. So it's Lamar and Patrick Mahomes. They're great. Javonte Williams playing against Arizona. Arizona sucks. They're they are probably just as frustrating or more frustrating to watch as the Falcons. Chase Brown has been great since Joe Flacco's been back. Chris Olave is getting volume, so you love that. Um, I think we're gonna see a good game from Addison this weekend. It really depends on how the young quarterback comes out, though. This is like his third game starting now. His his career so far has been weird. CeeDee Lamb against Arizona should be great. Tedero McMillan on the Panthers, not on Tennessee, with Ian Manor. It's going to be a tough game. We already talked about it. Green Bay's defense is really good, and I'm not expecting a huge thing out of Pat Fryermuth like he had last weekend. But all that to say, I'm giving my team the win, moving me up to 6-3, and I think that keeps me still under the Teddy's team, though. Actually, no, I gave Teddy the loss. That would move me up to top of Wave 1. So big implications with the wins here. I think it ought to be a fun weekend. Let me know what you think of the picks. And as always, go Falcons.